So the way we've been opening this is we've been opening with bread-related puns.
Bread puns?
Bread puns. Well, I mean, the first one we had was let's eat this wheat, let's get this bread, and then last week it was rose to the occasion.
I did hear that.
So if you've got one, if not, that's fine. But just if you had one.
Oh, I love puns.
Yeah.
I'm a dad, so I love the puns.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to be a dad for that exact reason. Like,
Oh,
I can
dude,
feel the dad jokes.
Just do them anyway. My favourite joke, I could give you a good joke though,
Go on.
I really like. I use it in Dota when I'm gaming to diffuse the toxicity because it's so
toxic.
What do you call a very large pile of cats?
What?
A mountain.
I don't know why I ask my guests.
It's bad.
They're never good.
And what do you call a bunch of cats in the bin?
What?
Kitty litter.
All right, okay, now I like that one. All right. So, jumping right in. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Which camera? This one?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at any of them, but that's the only one. These two are going to see you. That one's going to see me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can see what it looks like there.
Yeah.
So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Painter Chronicles. I'm here today with Leif. He is, well, I'll let him introduce himself in a second when we get to the questions. But say hello, Leif, for all our audio listeners.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Thank you very much for joining us once again. And thank you, Leif, for joining us. So let's just jump right in. So first question, of course, as usual. He's totally memorized what they are. What's your history? Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on? What's your history with painting?
Well, creative stuff is something that I've been doing since I was a kid. I'll go into a bit deeper than last time I talked about it, only because I feel I've got a bit more time. Last time it was like a 5-minute thing, but I can give a bit more info.
Who talked to you last time?
Objective secured, interviewed West Oz miniature painters last year, around the same time, or just after the Iron Cygnet, the first round of competition that we did.
Can you get a little close to your microphone?
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Anyway, so history of painting. So I've been quite creative for many years, but it all comes kind of down to actually my family. My dad is creative, and rather than playing football and soccer and ball sports and things like that, we'd go camping and fishing and do woodworking, or Dad actually does brushwork. He loves Chinese brushwork. He's a furniture designer and does office stuff. So and my mum is also like that, and Dad does pottery, or used to. So there's a lot of creativity from that, which has always been kind of pushed.
Yeah.
But I started painting, well, when I was 14 to 16 years old was when I started getting into Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
And we played Necromunda. And we also played Warhammer.
So this is with your dad and stuff?
No, this is with my mates next door, next door neighbour mates. And one of our friends, Andrew Neck, he's actually in the Discord group. He is about 4 years older than me, and he always had a bit of money. He was able to buy stuff, and he got us into it. And then we'd go over to his house and paint. Anyway, from 14 to 16, we played Necromunda, and I got Escher, the girls.
Yeah.
And I loved them. They're really cool. Painted them like the box. Not great. I don't have photos of those models because I've actually stripped them and repainted them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I wish I had taken a before and after for them.
I mean, at least you still got them. That's kind of cool.
Well, that's it. When we played Necromunda later, when I don't speak a little bit later, I'll explain a little bit more about that. The other thing we played was Gorka Morka, which is kind of gang warfare with orcs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I also collected Warhammer Dark Elves. So I have a 2,500 point army of Warhammer Dark Elves.
Yeah, right.
Which has got 10 to 12 cold ones, which are your Velociraptor riders.
Yeah.
About 12 horses, 35 witch elves, which are chicks. I like the chicks. A black dragon, which I have stripped and repainted. And again, I'll talk about that. That's the bubble gum dragon, as I describe it. Anyway, so I played that, and then we stopped playing. So that was 1997 to 99.
Right.
So this is a long time ago.
So you've been painting what, like just painting straight for?
No. Then I took a massive break.
Oh.
So after that, I stopped.
Right.
And then I did all my degree, all my friends.
And you weren't
gaming. I
playing?
wasn't gaming at all. Then obviously I studied, but during that time I was gaming. I did a lot of gaming.
Yeah,
so,
like computer gaming and stuff.
World of Warcraft. The wife was a WoW widow in vanilla World of Warcraft. Dota is one of the main games I played. I've got over 6,000 hours in Dota. It's about 20 hours a week, 1,000 hours a year.
Yeah.
So it actually adds up when you played 5 years.
For sure.
And that was my thing that I used to watch or do instead of TV.
Yeah.
And YouTube. And to be honest, like, it was great, and you make lots of good friends. But one of the things I did feel that I was lacking, even with doing my work and my degree and everything, was actually a creative outlet.
Yeah.
And the creative outlet is painting.
Yeah, no,
So when my mate, Will, said, hey, we're going to get back into Necromunda, he was just talking about it, just in general. I said, I've got Necromunda gang. I've got Escher. And then what happened was we used the old rules, the Necromunda Community Edition rules, which is the old rules, all fixed.
Yeah.
Fixing all the overpowered problems that the game had.
Yeah.
And we played it. It was really good. Still lots of toxicity and
I'm sure. When was that?
2017.
Okay. So it's actually pretty recent then.
Yes. So we played that, and that's when I stripped my Escher models that I'd already painted and repainted them.
Right.
Will currently, though, was painting some Judge Dredd models, and they looked amazing. And he also painted some pit slaves, which looked amazing. And I was like, I'll just strip my models and repaint them. This is coming into my painting history, or where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And I painted the Escher, and I'm like, I'm just going to paint them. Just do flat colours. I'm not going to try too hard.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then as I was painting, and I can kind of memorize which ones I painted in a row. So you can see where your quality of paint job comes from.
Yeah.
But I got to my leader, kind of left my leader till last.
Of course.
And that's, you've got a question coming up, but that's one of my first models where I was like, I think I'll spend a bit more time on this model.
Yeah.
And it was doing the cape.
Yeah, right.
Highlighting the cape.
Okay.
And I did that, and it looked really good. Well, I liked it. And Will... He's very inspiring for me.
Yeah.
And he's definitely pushed me along. And I love that, like with people in general that push you along.
Yeah, for sure.
Will's one of the people that has pushed my painting, which was still there. I just didn't care for it, but now I do.
Yeah.
So I pushed it and painted her, and she looked great.
Yeah.
And then after that, so from 2017 onwards, I've been painting. And I've painted Escher, Redemptionists.
Yeah.
Then I painted a dragon for a competition, a tidecaster, a missile launcher person, and
What is it with you guys at WOMP and wanting to paint tidecasters?
Me and Dad kind of agreed about painting a Masters. So there's a competition called Best in the West. Now I'd already entered my dragon in the Brush Masters, which is the original Iron Cygnet.
Yeah.
And we've renamed it just because there's too many brush. We just wanted to slightly different a feel, and there's a few other things we've got about.
Yeah.
But the Tidecaster, it was selected by Dean in Warhammer. Best in the West is a Warhammer paint competition. And the gentleman basically chooses very difficult models to paint. And everyone hates it, or potentially hates it.
So everyone has to paint the same model?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's called a Masters, where you all have the same model, and it's every year they do it, the same model. So what it does is it stops everyone from doing all these cool dioramas. The rules of the Masters was, get your Tidecaster, paint it as is.
Okay.
No kit bashing,
right.
No changing the base, because that would actually get you disqualified. You could put it on a diorama, but they would ignore the diorama and just look at the model.
Oh, so it really is just
you could paint a story, but it would not be added. So me and Dan actually just painted it as is. I know that when I entered my masters, there was another Tidecaster that kind of got through that had a resin effect at the bottom, which looked really cool.
Yeah, right.
But I believe that the judge would have ignored that and just scored it on the rest of the model. But yeah, so the problem with the Tidecaster is it's actually quite a plain model. And if you have a look on the internet with some of the examples, there was one model, I wish I'd seen it before I started painting. Okay, by one of the guys on Instagram, and I think you'll have to show it. It's just beautiful.
Oh, send me a picture, and I'll make sure.
It's got like a silk effect on the cape. Oh, with dappling. Oh,
yeah.
Perfect. However, I did copy one part from his after I seen it.
Yeah.
But what I did is I got inspiration to paint the Tidecaster, and I was like, how am I going to paint this? What colours am I going to do? Don't know. But one of my favourite fish, sea fish, is the mahi-mahi, the dolphin fish.
Yeah, right.
And they're green and blue and yellow, and it's quite rich in colour.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'll get a picture up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll even we use the photo that I used.
Oh, please, if you've got the reference, for sure.
Anyway, from above, this fish is a predator. So from above, it's yellow and scary. From underneath, when it's hunting like a bird, comes down and takes out the fish.
Yeah.
It's pure blue or aqua.
Yeah, right.
So the fish can't see it. That's how I think.
Yeah.
I kind of create a story in my mind.
Yeah.
But the patterns on it are beautiful. So with the Tidecaster, I was like, well, there's all this empty space on this cape.
Yeah, yeah.
There's all this empty space everywhere around the model.
For sure.
How can I make the model look better than it is? And I was like, patterns.
Okay.
So that was kind of where the Tidecaster went, was I painted it all flat, and then I was like, okay, patterns, and then just gently did patterns on it.
Right.
And so why is everyone painting the Tidecaster? Well, it was just a model that you had to select to paint for that year.
Okay, all right. That makes sense.
I did it because me and Dan kind of agreed to do it. And then every night we'll whinging about the models, like, oh, what are you painting? Oh, I'm painting this. Oh, what are you painting? And that one you had to paint it in the sub frame. What's it called? Sub-assembly.
Okay.
Because underneath the cape is all these potions.
Yeah, okay.
And you'd only see if you pick up the model and look down.
Yeah, and you just knew the judges would be doing that, obviously. Yeah.
So I've actually got a photo, maybe I'll have a photo of the sub-frame. And you see the potions.
Yeah.
Don't get to see any of that stuff. Even though, like, there's little highlights and things. All wasted. Bubbles in the potion and things.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So all not seen.
That breaks my heart.
But yeah, so I painted this Tidecaster, and that year, so you enter into a local store with your models, and then you win in your local store, and then the best model from each store then gets pitted together.
Yeah, right.
And then I won that year for the Tidecaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations. What year was that?
That was last year? Year before.
Okay.
During the unspecified pandemic.
Yes.
I was up against Dan.
Okay.
Okay. And
so it was literally you two came down to the wire.
Second, I'd basically say.
Holy cow.
Because not many people entered the Tidecaster model because it was so difficult. Even a guy, James Snibbs, he was going to paint it. Yeah. And he was 3 days before, hey guys, I'm going to paint this. And he never did it. He never finished it. He's like, oh my God. And it's still in sub painting.
Sub-assembly
and painting. I think he will look at it and he goes, oh my God. So yeah, difficult model to paint.
That's crazy.
But I think the way I got around it being a difficult model was having a story and a reference picture.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd use.
I mean, that seems to be your modus operandi. Like, I gotta tell people this story, right? So the other night I jump on because I'm obviously doing my Pink Panther. You know this story, so this is for everyone at home. But I'm painting my. Well, I'm staring at my Pink Panther. I've just undercoated it. I've pulled out my brushes and I start painting it like a light grey as like the undercoat. And I jump on the WOMP Discord and I'm sitting in there listening, chatting, just like watching and asking for advice, and people were sending me videos and stuff like that. And then I'm like, guys, I finally broke them. It must have been like an hour or so. I was like, far out. I have done nothing. I have tried so hard to make this work. How can I like get a good undercoat? And everyone was like, airbrush, 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 airbrush. Yeah. Which I understand. I do. But I don't own an airbrush at the moment. So I was sitting there like, God damn it. Leif just like, well, you can borrow mine. And so in my head, I'm thinking, that's cool. I'll catch up with him like in a week or so or whatever. And he's like, where do you live? I tell him where I live. And he's like, oh, you're like 10 minutes from my house. So it's like 10:30 at night. And he's like, come on over. We'll paint it. And mind you, I've never actually been to Leif's house. I think I met you a couple of times at events and stuff.
Yeah, that's only it.
Oh, hilarious!
I wasn't going to steal your liver.
No, it's just like just such a whack story that I love. Like to me, it kind of perfectly encapsulates the kind of community you guys have at WOMP. Like everyone I talk to about the community is just so like positive and happy and willing to help out and share. And literally, like you shared your painting tips with me, like you just done a masterclass, and I felt like I got that masterclass, and like fantastic. We even had whiskey.
Yeah, that whiskey was good.
Oh, so good. But yeah, it's just crazy how that kind of all. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because now it means I can actually move forward with that.
Well, that was the thing. Like when you were talking about, when you were sounding disillusioned, it's basically this. I think like gaming, you don't see people's faces at all, so you really learn. You can hear it in people's voices how they feel, and Dota once again is so toxic, it's insane. So you can tell when people are angry, or you can tell when they're upset or disillusioned. So I could hear it in your voice. And I was like, where do you live? And this is me as well.
Yeah.
Other people are not like that. I'm super friendly. Try to be generous as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure.
That's I learnt that from another friend years and years ago. But I was like, where do you live? And I was like, if he lives nearby, he can just come over tonight. Like it was 10 o'clock when we were discussing it, and I think you rocked up at 10:30.
Yeah.
And it's like 10 minutes away. Okay, well, come over. And you're like, I was like, come over.
Yeah.
It won't take long. And it didn't, because I think we were done by 12:30.
Yeah. I mean that was us like talking and chatting. You were showing me all your models and stuff like that. The rig, I finally got to see your big
rig.
Yeah. Oh, so cool. Definitely getting pictures of that.
Yes.
So good.
Hopefully I'll talk about that a little bit, and you can put some photos up. I can't put that on the little lazy Susan to see it. It's too heavy.
That's fine.
But I will all the stuff we'll talk about. Hopefully I'll have some video of it. So you can actually post it up.
You guys are getting a treat. Look at that.
So I just wanted to get you going on your model. I'm really excited to see if you've done any more.
I haven't, just because I've been finishing up my major project. But like I'm free this week now.
Yeah.
So basically, what I do with these podcasts is I use these as like motivation, because I'll speak with you, right? Yeah. And you love this. This is like, you're amazing at this. And so I'm like, oh man, I feel so inspired. Like there's so much passion. I want to, and so I go home and that's when I start working. And so I do this podcast because A, it's fun.
Yes.
And B, it makes me paint, essentially.
Yes.
So
you've got another person's interview and you need to have a bit of progress between on each video.
That's it. That's I also promised progress videos, and I haven't been delivering. But that's all right. I've been filming the process. I just haven't been putting it into video form. I really should.
Yes.
That's a bit of like, scared. Kind of, I'm like, oh, it's not enough. It's not big. It's not good enough. All that, but that's a completely different story.
Like if you're just taking photos, just take photos. I've been purposely taking photos because I don't know if it'll ever
keep talking.
eventuate.
I'm just going to check cameras.
But I think I don't know if I'll ever eventuate. But I think what I may end up doing, and being a graphic designer, is I probably end up doing a book, like your autobiographies. Yeah. If I'm painting for years and years and years. I feel like one day I might have to make a book of all my stuff. So I've just been taking photos left, right, and center and saving them all as one photo file. And hopefully I've got enough progress photos too, so I can actually create a story
for sure.
from all the photos I've taken. And I think that would be an awesome project to do
Yeah.
when you're retired, like
Oh,
writing a whole
absolutely.
book on all your models, nearly,
It's-
or having them all.
Yeah.
And the woe, the sad parts and the positive parts,
Yeah.
and all in between.
What when did you get involved with WOMP, by the way?
So I got involved with WOMP, or Westars Miniature Painters.
Sorry. Yes.
Basically, I was painting the Escher and the Redemption, and I had a dragon, and they advertised 3 months before. It was a September event.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do something for this competition.
Yeah.
And I was like, what can I do? And I was like, I want to do a dragon. That was it. That was my process of what I was going to paint. So I looked online at all. I was like, I'll get a new model. They look really good. I wonder what they look like, the new models.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah. Right.
They were not what I had in my brain
Yeah.
for a model. And I was like, I have a dragon from my Dark Elf army.
Yeah.
And I don't care for that dragon right now.
Yeah.
I knew the wings were broken
Yeah.
due to them being plastic. And the rest of the model is metal.
Really? That's a metal
About
model.
300 grams
Holy
of metal.
Jeez.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
That's a story. But I was like, okay, well, I can do that. And then I have my brother's Wood Elf army
Yeah.
in with my Dark Elf army because our friend sent it back to us from South Australia.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he hadn't painted his Wood Elf dragon, which I actually still have. So I stole his wings because they're the same wings.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I stripped the model and put his wings on mine because the other ones were broken.
Yeah.
And then I rebuilt it. And then because I know the model's so badly made. Well, not badly made, just the tech was not great. So you have to putty it up in all the spots. So I puttied it all up and glued it all together. Oh, perfect now.
Yeah.
It's great. This is before I painted it.
Yeah.
And then, I painted the dragon. And I called it, didn't want to go black because it's a black dragon.
Yeah.
That I've used the model from, the Dark Elf Black Dragon.
Yeah.
Forgotten his name. Beast Lord Karth.
Yeah,
I
right.
believe it is.
Oh, he's got a paint named after him.
And then I painted it blue. I wanted a rich, deep blue.
Yeah.
And I did that with Nargoth blue. Or whatever from
We'll get
Desaturating.
pictures up. People will see the colours because they
So,
look fantastic.
The thing on that model, going back to getting to Westars Miniature Painters, I entered that competition, and then they asked for kind of moderators in the group.
Yeah.
The guy was someone left. And he's like, guys, I need a hand. Is anyone who want to be a moderator? I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I liked it, being a moderator.
Yeah.
After the competition,
Yeah.
because I was like, look, because we were talking about it in the moderators, and I was like, I don't think I should become an admin
Yeah.
in between while painting my model. I feel like it will look bad, especially if I won anything.
Yeah.
And I did come second with that model.
Okay.
With Will Cooper coming first.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. But in the background, I was keeping very far away from admin and knowing things that are going on because I didn't want that to get to
conflict of interest.
Yeah,
You didn't want
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, so on that model, the dragon is huge. It's the equivalent of painting maybe 10 models at once. That's kind of how I look at models. I'll look at the size of it and go, how many? It takes you 3 to 8 hours to paint a standard model.
Yeah, for sure.
To look nice,
Yeah.
a Goliath Ganger or something. And that's just a straight up paint job with a few highlights.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at a dragon, you're like, oh, that's big dragon, big ass dragon. But I was like, airbrush.
Yeah.
I'm going to airbrush this.
Yeah.
So Will Cooper had been painting his models and using airbrush to basically do everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, well, he can show me how to do it. So I went over his house and basically did like I've done to you, a masterclass on airbrushing.
It's fantastic.
And I did all my dragon. I've got photos of that.
Yeah.
Of its wings and how I did it.
For sure.
Before, and then I started painting it at home by hand after that.
Yeah.
And I call it bubblegum dragon because of where I came from with the colours.
Yeah.
But basically, I did a deep blue dragon. Now, I do work with primary and secondary colours and do that with graphic design as well.
Yeah.
Primary colour of my dragon is blue.
Yeah.
Secondary colours, you can get, again, Dan showed me this. It's a beautiful colour wheel which does complementary colours.
Yeah.
But it can also do triclementary colours.
Yeah.
Quad
Yeah,
complementary colours.
If you haven't seen it, there's a tool online called Adobe Color,
Yeah.
and it's basically that, but without it being a physical thing. You can choose
Yeah,
what.
you can actually drag
It's-
with
yeah,
your mouse
it's
where the colour
fantastic.
that you've got on your dragon,
Yeah,
and then you can see 3 other colours
It's
on the other side of the
great.
wheel to show you what colours you could use.
Mm.
Now, you do still have to be gentle and balance it.
Oh, absolutely.
So the main colours that came up was
Mm.
orange, pink, and like a warm red.
Mm.
Okay? So you'll notice on my dragon, it's orange, pink, and warm red.
Go figure.
And you'll also notice, because someone else suggested, the guy that used to run as admin,
Yeah.
Marcus Clay,
Mm.
used to run West Oz Miniatures. He suggested that I should gradient the colours down the back of the dragon on the scales.
Yeah,
Because I was going to do just one colour.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is really plain.
Yeah.
And he suggested do a gradient. Like, ooh,
Gradient's
that's not
great.
bad. So I did like a little practice run on just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And I actually, again, I've got the piece of paper of the colours and I've actually written them down.
Yeah.
That's when I was starting to get a bit too into it. I don't do that anymore. But I did the colours and I painted the dragon. And then in the end, that dragon airbrushed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That took actually took one night
Yeah.
to do the airbrushing, 3 hours.
Wow.
Right? Then hand painted, but it adds up to 80 hours
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
worth
yeah.
of painting. And I've got a whole story I wrote on West Oz about
Mm.
it. I dropped my model in the wet palette of colours, the wings.
No.
And I had to clean it up. Yeah. That's scary. Have you ever done that? You're
No.
holding your model?
No.
Now, when a model is 300 grams
Yeah.
and it's being held by one of your Games Workshop spindles and the glue comes loose on the base and it goes straight in the thing. So I got orange all over the wings. So I had to quickly wipe it off,
get it off
wipe
as
it off
much as
tissue too.
possible.
And in the end, I got, you could say, some coffee staining
Yeah.
on the wing. And then I had to hand paint all the beautiful airbrushing in that spot and fix it. I managed to rescue it. I can see the hand painting compared to airbrushing, but it still got through. People didn't know.
Yeah,
Didn't say
yeah.
anything.
Crazy.
That competition was an online competition where
Yeah.
you submitted 4 photos.
Okay.
Now, I made sure, once again, as a graphic designer and Photoshopper,
Yeah.
the photos I took were the best I could do.
Yeah.
And I didn't do any color enhancing. Maybe other than lighting,
Yeah.
the color enhancing was done via that way. But I didn't do any photoshopping on the
Yeah.
photos.
You weren't like changing the contrast or the saturation or anything.
No. I tweaked the photos to get them brighter.
Yeah.
But I didn't touch hues. I didn't get the clone tool to fix up edge highlighting
yeah.
things like, which you could easily do
Yeah,
on
yeah.
an online thing. I was like, I'll just leave it raw.
Yeah.
Nearly. I tried doing an SLR photo, didn't work. So I just used my phone camera, which
Yeah,
seems
right.
to take the best photos. It's just the field of view. You can
Yeah.
do more. With an SLR, you've got like a single 5mm worth of section.
Yeah.
The dragon is super long.
Yeah.
So this part's in focus, the rest isn't.
Yeah.
And you have to do, what's it called? Multi-focusing.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's fun.
Anyway, with the dragon, it fell in the thing, so I've cleaned that up. And then, the model took 80 hours to paint. But that's
Jeez.
because I painted each scale,
Yeah.
edge highlighted each scale.
Okay. Well, I mean,
And then
that's-
there's, 400 scales.
yeah.
But that was, the
that's how you
scales
read,
took
yeah.
about 4 nights, I'd say, or 4 hours each. That's the thing, I was just doing 3 hours a night. And I knew I had 3 months to do this in. So,
Yeah.
so I just did it slow and steady, a little bit every night.
Yeah, yeah.
And then as I was doing this painting, I was thinking about the actual theme of the story.
Yeah.
Now, Bubblegum Dragon, I was like, just by herself, she looks all right. Or he. I decided it was a she. And I was like, going to
Cool.
put her on a base that was
Yeah.
just round. But it was just too small. All these bases
Yeah,
are too
yeah.
small. So I had to build a base
Yeah.
in the end. And this is where, like, from high school, when I did my TE art,
Yeah.
we always went out on excursions to get our inspiration for then doing our work.
Yeah.
And one of my inspirations for the base was actually when I do archery as well. The Australian landscape.
Right.
And
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
some beautiful cliffs. But you shoot with archery, you're like shooting over the top of the cliff down, and it's shale, and it's just in York, Greenfields, just an hour and a half's drive out.
Yeah. Right.
And I've got photos of all that, and I've actually done the base of the dragon using those photos.
Right.
The
Okay.
whole base, all the color scheme.
You got
at
it.
the bottom.
You got shale.
Yeah, I've got shale
Yeah.
on it. I've got the striations of the way the limestone works. And in the end, I got the Mama Dragon. Now, again, we were getting scored on just the model.
Yeah.
No base.
Yeah.
But I still created a story on the base, but I
Yeah.
didn't spend too long on the base. I spent 10, 15 hours. It adds up. It adds up. 10, 15 hours. How many hours is that? That's 4 nights.
Yeah, no, I
4
understand. You're
hours.
like, not that much, just 10, 15 hours, it's whatever. It's fine.
It adds up. But yes, I built a little base.
That's so much time.
It
It's not a little amount of time.
And then I ordered, so I went while painting, like you'd do about 2 hours, 3 hours painting, like I'm done for the night.
Yeah.
You'd sit on chatting to your mate while they're
Yeah.
painting, Googling models to buy
Yeah.
to see if I could build on this base.
Yeah.
And I did. I found a baby dragon from Reaper Miniatures.
Oh, yeah. They do
And I
some
needed
pretty good
just
stuff.
the right dragon that looked like Mama Dragon.
Yeah.
With 4 legs.
Yeah.
Not a wyvern. I wanted it to be a baby dragon hunting. Now, hunting a person is probably not appropriate, but probably the most reasonable thing I think a mummy dragon would do.
Yeah.
If they're really evil or bad. So I did some chickens.
Yeah. Chickens is a safe bet, I think.
Yeah. So it's hunting some chickens, the baby dragon, and there's actually some little eggs on the base as well. And you'll see them. And there's 2 chickens, and it's just using some bush as cover while it's going to pounce. So I created a story.
Yeah.
But while I'm painting my models, I'm thinking constantly while I'm driving, I'm thinking about the model, how to build it, what to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of your creative process is that you're, while you're driving, you're actually painting in your head. And you're thinking about things. Like I've been thinking about your Pink Panther and how to do the base for you, which you discussed to me on the day we're airbrushing.
Yeah, well, that was where I was going with that story. I got completely sidetracked. But essentially, you kind of sat there, and I realized that's your process. You find that story, and I have it in my head now. I'm not going to be able to do it for Iron Cygnet, but I want to do it for the next painting competition. Is do that base up with a street kind of thing. Maybe this is Panthers come back to life in 2050 or whatever. It's been brought back and it's smashed through a wall, and I really want to try a graffiti effect, and write Pink Panther on the. So anyway, that's down the line. I might even get a new model because if it's come back after however many years, someone's remade this tank and brought it into some kind of guerrilla conflict in 2050. I think there'll be some more rust, some greens, and anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself because I haven't even completed this one. But that for me really helps me want to get this done and stay motivated because even if I can't do it with this model, I want to be able to get to that standard, and so I want to do the best I can now so I can learn from it. So thank you for that. Is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I think you should do it for this model. To be honest,
if I had the time, because I think
you can just do a road scene. Yeah,
I mean we've got 20 days.
Have you seen what I'm building right now?
Yes, I have.
I'm doing a gunship, guys. AC 130 gunship, Spectre. I'm going to have a lot of LEDs on the back of it, and I've just finished doing the mount. Mount it to the base.
Can you do
I'm designing the base right now.
Yeah, can you get some pictures for us?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you them.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to show any more than that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I know.
I'd like to not blow. I think LEDs look really cool.
Yeah.
But they're actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I think you shouldn't really get graded just because you're wowing people with lights.
Yeah.
Same with kids' toys. They're like, old toy, let's get an old toy from the 80s and just add LEDs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Anyway,
yeah,
so where were we going? How did I get to West Oz? I just got asked as admin.
Yeah.
And then joined it and then became part of it. And then we run the first Iron Cygnet.
Yeah.
And anyway, we went ahead and we've still done it all.
Mm-hmm. When was the first? What year was the first Iron Cygnet?
That was last year.
That was the first one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before that was the Brushmaster. So
Yeah,
I've been an admin now, I believe, for 1.5 years, maybe 2.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And yeah, just great to watch it grow. So it's grown up. When I joined, it was about 200,
Yeah.
250 people.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we've nearly got 600 members.
Yeah, nice.
We're just like, I like being part of communities, and I do archery.
Absolutely, yeah.
But this community is great, and it's a cool one that you can just, instead of watching TV, I can just paint at night.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like with archery, I have to go out and do it.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
this one, you can stay in your home. Now, we have a group where we chat, Discord, but
Yeah.
before that, we kind of had our little painting pod
yeah.
that would paint. And I find that's another way you get really good at painting is if you've got a pod where people critique your work.
Yeah.
But the Discord's perfect for that as well. And you make some friends like you. Like,
Yeah.
you get to know each other,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
show
for
your
sure.
photos, and you can make comments.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was able to do that with Jodie. Like, I made friends with a Gunpla.
Oh, yeah.
Jodie, she's done some amazing models. But it's so cool to see other people's stuff and what they're inspired. And seeing how, like, Warhammer is big, but Gunpla is bigger.
Really?
Well, you know, when you've got Japan with billions of people,
I don't know it has billions, but I understand the sentiment.
you know, like, there's just thousands of models
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
It's just as big as Games Workshop.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to see is that there's so many communities out there. I don't even know them. So now I have to paint a mecha
Yeah.
or a gunpla sometimes.
Wow. That's
And that's one of the reasons I'm doing my gunship right now
Yeah.
is to learn scale or
Okay.
to paint scale.
yeah. Something a bit different than a model.
So that's, I joined WOMP. WOMP is as we call it. And then, been admin and then helped run the first event. And the first event was quite a good success.
Yeah.
We had 55 people enter 96 models, I believe.
Wow.
And it was during the COVID times in between lockdowns
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. Basically,
So that's a pretty good turnout for COVID.
Yeah,
like,
well, we've got
numbers.
our fallback is if it gets cancelled, we just go online.
Yeah.
So we're just like, no, we'll just go online. Easy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to see it, have it as a, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. We'll just go online or something. You know, we'll just make it work.
Oh, that's good.
We'll make it work. Anyway, so we did the Iron Cygnet, and that went really well. And then, we've been growing. I did a model for that called Miss Missile.
Yes.
That was my first
Yeah.
LED.
I think this leads pretty well into the next question,
Yes.
actually. What is your favorite model?
Oh.
Is it Miss Missile?
No?
No.
I'm
Because
not
I
really
thought you
sure.
said the other day, like, you loved painting
I
Miss
do
Missile.
love that one.
Yeah.
I love the LEDs. Because Miss Missile's actually a test piece.
Oh, yeah, you did say
So
this.
Miss Missile's a test piece for the gunship.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a single LED on there.
Ah.
Now, just imagine 60 of those.
You're doing
That's-
60 on the gunship.
Yeah, or flares. Basically, I'm doing angel wing flares on the
Far
back.
out. All right.
So we'll see how it goes. I
Yeah.
might not have enough time. 'Cause
Yeah.
Again, as you were looking at your thing,
Yeah.
we've probably got 20 days to go.
Yeah.
However, I do have this week off, so after we finish here, I'm going to be building the base more.
Yeah.
And the base is
You
part
got
of the
quite a bit of
process. I
time.
have to get the base done and get the aeroplane mounted, so then I can run the electrics up it.
Yeah.
To then do the LEDs.
Yeah.
Once I got the LEDs done, then I can put a bit of blue tack on the front of the lights, airbrush the whole lot black, then just put cotton on it.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
get airbrush over the cotton to make smoke.
Fair enough.
Looks really cool.
Fair enough.
And it's quite a simple process. And then the aeroplane itself is just an airbrush.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm doing the thing as a diorama for fun.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it will win. I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be quite a simple process. I'm not going to really be doing heaps of highlighting.
Yeah.
I just want it to look cool.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but we'll
I
see
think
what
60
happens.
LEDs will do that for you.
Yeah, but
So
favourite
wh-
models?
Yeah, what is your favourite model then?
I think they've all got a little bit in your heart.
Cop out. Cop
But
out.
I think it might actually be the Tidecaster.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Um,
Sorry, I had to call you out there because I called Dan out too.
Yeah.
He did the whole, it's what's inside that gets like, no, give me something substantive. So
I
it's the
did-
Tidecaster
I
for
did
you.
a triple tone on the cape.
Yeah, okay.
So I did blue to green on
Yeah.
the top of it, and underneath. No, sorry, on the top is green to yellow, and
Yeah.
underneath it's green to blue.
Yeah, right.
Due to the same color as the fish. But it just looks really nice.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I painted over the top of it. That's scary. Like something that looks really wicked, like
Yeah.
airbrushed wise.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're like, all right, I'll just get my paintbrush
Yeah.
over the top of it. You're like, oh, I've ruined everything.
That's where I'm at the moment. I'm like, this airbrush on the Pink Panther looks really nice. Don't mess it up.
You got to be gentle.
Yeah.
But one of the other ones that have just got my love right now is my Goliath Zerka, which I've just painted.
Okay.
And that's a little aha moment, which you'll be asking me about later.
I mean, we can dive right into that if you want.
Oh, yeah. But, so one of the things, though, I wanted to mention about the Tidecaster, you were talking to Dan about it.
Yeah.
I made some notes. And you were talking about Uncanny Valley. Now,
Yes.
I don't know movies.
Yes.
Okay. But thank you for describing the movie, because otherwise I would have no idea what you're talking about.
That's all right. I hope I explained it well. I'm sure there's someone out there who was like, what are you doing? But that's kind of the basic, is that you hit this valley and And I watched last episode. There you go.
Yeah. But so the Uncanny Valley was talking about when you paint a model, it looks weird.
Yeah, if it's
you
too
do the
close to
wrong
human,
colours.
it's weird.
Yeah, so what I had was the opposite way around. I wanted to paint my Tidecaster like she was underwater.
Yeah.
Now, when you're underwater, your skin tone ain't pink.
No.
It's blues.
Yeah.
Whatever colour.
'Cause it's
Just depending on the
filtering through.
depth.
Yeah.
All the reds, all the light red. I think red's the first to go when you go underwater.
Makes sense.
Anyway, it just looked really weird in blue.
Yeah.
Really weird. Again, I've got a photo of that. And what I had to do with the Tidecaster was I actually grabbed that photo and I photoshopped it to pink on Photoshop before I changed.
Just to see what it'd look
to
like?
see what she would look like. She looks so much better, unfortunately, in whites and skin toned pinks.
Yeah.
So I actually changed her skin tone from blue,
Yeah.
even her arms, they're all blue,
Yeah.
to pink.
Oh, right.
And that made the model look 100 times better. There's something about cold. You've got color theory. I don't really know much about it. Even though I've done design, I just don't remember it. I think it's in my head and it's kind of like unconscious for me.
It's like,
But-
you know it, but it'd be hard to tell someone.
Yeah. But like the Tidecaster is very cold,
Yeah.
right? We've got greens, blues, and yellows. There's no rich and warmth in her.
No.
However, you need warmth
Yeah.
to make it to bind together. So you'll notice that the skin tone is warm.
Yeah.
And that is why it looks natural, I think.
Yeah,
The other
right.
thing I've done is her headdress is in oranges and reds, which is warm.
Yeah.
And another person, Mark, he was talking about a triangle of colour. So you'll notice at the top of the miniature there's warmth.
Yeah.
Bottom left there's warmth and warmth. But the rest is all cold and the skin colour
Interesting.
is warm in the centre.
Yeah.
So he was talking about a triangle of colour and it balances it out. If I had red warmth, nothing there, it'll look weird.
Yeah. Is that your aha moment?
That's no. That is not my aha moment.
All right. Well, then what's your aha moment?
I've got 5 of them.
Oh my god. All right. Let's go.
Okay. Aha moments I see as a painting leap.
Yeah.
So you're painting and then you do something, you're like, aha! That's so much easier.
Yeah. It's a breakthrough.
So for you, you've painted your Pink Panther and then you've finally used the airbrush.
Yes.
That's your first aha moment.
Well, okay.
And
Here's the thing. I
excites
knew the airbrushes were good already. The aha moment so far has been like gradient. I think with an airbrush,
Yes,
like more
that's
specifically than just an
Yep.
airbrush. Sorry,
And-
go on.
Yeah, so the dragon is the wings, the gradient.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the back you were saying with the gradient, you were shifting through the colors on the back.
Yeah.
Or that's on the back of the wings?
That's on both sides.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So that's an aha moment, is using the airbrush.
Yeah.
And then my first one though was the Escher leader.
Yeah.
And painting her cloak
Of course.
and highlighting. So there's an aha, going from monotone, single color, flat colors
Yeah.
to bringing the cape forward and looking more 3D.
Okay.
That was like a little aha moment.
Yeah.
And that was the first one where you go, I can paint okay. This looks cool. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
This looks good.
Yeah.
That's the aha moment, was actually going, let's take this a bit more seriously. There's
Yeah.
the first aha. The next one was actually the Redemptionist models I've got. So I used to undercoat everything white. And that is fine if you're going to paint the model bright, I would say. If you want it to look bright and rich, like your Pink Panther, white and greys, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But if you want some depth, some shadows, black. kind of, you just do whatever you like,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
You can, the paints just cover it all anyway.
Yeah.
But with the Redemptionist, it was painting black and then getting, you've got Corn Red with Games Workshop. There's another one. Is it Wazdaka Red? No. It's a
Is
base.
it darker red or a
No,
lighter
it's
red?
very similar to Corn Red.
Uh,
I forgot the name. Mephisto.
Mephiston.
Mephisto Red.
Yeah, Mephiston red.
Thin that down heaps
Yeah.
so it becomes a glaze.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that black coke and you just covered the whole thing in a very thin layer of red.
Okay, interesting.
The black becomes brown or a very deep, rich, reddy black.
Yeah,
It's
right.
really good.
Yeah.
And then you just glaze a bit more on that cape, that red.
Yeah, and so that was your
Glaze
first.
a bit more,
Yeah.
glaze a bit more, and all of a sudden you've got this beautiful rich black with red in it,
Yeah.
up to red.
Yeah, right.
And then after you've got the Mephisto down, you put some more reds on top.
And so that's like starting in the recesses and then slowly building up.
Yeah, and
until
that
you
was
hit
all done
the-
by hand. And I've got a model that I like, and that was like a little aha moment. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks really good. Oh,
Yeah.
that looked great. But that's how I am quite. It's hard to describe. I like what I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I can be quite conceited. I don't know that word.
Arrogant?
Arrogant, maybe. I don't think I am, but it's like I like that. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
And that's me.
What?
Confidence.
So I don't know if that's arrogance. I think that's good to have because I think way too many people, especially myself, we sit back and whatever we do, we do it, and then we're like, it's no good. I think we need more people in the world who are like, no, I did that. I like. that."
Yeah, I've always had that issue. Like when I've made or something like high school, I made some artwork and I said, "This looks really good."
Yeah.
And the teacher goes, "How do you know?" I'm like, "Because I know.
Yeah, because
It
I
looks
like
good.
it.
I like it.
Yeah.
So it's good."
I think that's the best place to
I
be.
think I got to
especially.
be a teacher.
I
didn't
look,
like
that's
that. But that was so. There's the Redemptionist. Then the next one was Lacey, my storm welder who does
yeah.
lightning. The lightning bolts on that was an aha moment for kit bashing. And that looks really cool. And the response I had on Instagram as well as social media was incredible for such a simple idea.
Yeah.
It was just enhancing the model
Yeah.
just a tiny bit,
Yeah.
but finding something new that no one's ever done as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then my latest aha moment actually is I've been really struggling with skin tones, and
Yeah.
I've been working on my Goliath models, my Goliath Necromunda models,
Yeah.
for many hours,
Yeah.
many weeks,
Yeah,
months, years. And I finally painted a bigger model,
Yeah.
Goliath Zerka, which is 75 mils. I don't know. It's huge.
Really?
It's a huge model.
Jeez.
And I got the skin tones down pat with the airbrush.
Yeah, you were saying.
And then I gently glazed more color on top.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yes, finally. Because I watched a video by Angel Giraldes, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And he was talking about when people do skin tones on, or muscly men or muscly people,
Yeah.
the muscles get picked out with shadows.
Yeah.
But they all look like chicken fillets. Like just a little big circle of
Yeah.
that muscle.
Yeah.
But they're not. On a human body, they meld into it, each other. The muscles all meld.
Yeah.
They're still shadows, but they're not a little chicken fillet,
Yeah.
chicken fillet, all the way down. They're all naturally binding together to be one thing. So to do that, it's very difficult. You do it with airbrush. And then with him, I did some really nice deep purple undertones in the shadows instead. So it's black.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I got purple in there with a mix of the skin tone
Yeah. Interesting.
to get the depth of color.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, that was an aha moment. And I'm really happy with that model. I'm going to enter that into the Iron Cygnet this year.
Yeah. Nice.
Whether or not it gets a place, I'm not bothered.
Yeah. No.
But I love the model, and I wasn't excited at the start, but now I was like, oh yeah, love it.
Good,
So that was
good.
some of my aha moments.
I love it. I love it. So then, what? Next question.
Am I going too long?
No, I mean, it is what
Okay.
it is. I don't think anyone's going to complain by having a longer episode.
Maybe you have to cut some bits out.
Maybe we'll see. So yeah, thank you very much for explaining everything, all of that. I think. I mean, we'll get to it maybe later about your technique of how exactly you did the skin tones, because I think skin tones are something that's quite hard, especially on faces. But for those of us who are not as accomplished.
Yes.
What's your beginner technique that you could pass on?
Okay. I've got a couple.
Yeah.
Again, like I know you kind of want one,
No, I mean,
but I think, and I don't want to say the techniques that all the other guys have said as well.
Yeah.
Because I definitely agree with them.
Yeah.
With all
for sure.
whatever beginner techniques they've mentioned, I highly agree.
Yeah.
So I wanted to add to that. Because obviously you're trying to learn that and you want to use those beginner techniques
for sure.
on your Pink Panther.
No, I mean, not just me as well. Like,
Yeah,
I want
and the
people
audience.
at home to know and to learn along
Yeah.
and feel more confident. Like, the thing is as well, I say beginner, quote unquote, beginner technique, but it's more like a technique that people maybe are beginners in.
Yes.
Like, you could have very experienced painters who don't
Yep.
know
Yes.
about
Yeah.
different techniques
And I think also like
rules and things like that.
the beginner techniques is when you decide you want to paint better
Yeah, for
as
sure.
well, and all these techniques help you do that.
Mm.
So one of the ones that I will say straight up is from Miniac YouTube show.
Oh, I know what this is.
Okay, Be Brave.
Yep. Yep.
And I can tell you, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Okay. I painted my bubblegum dragon
Yeah.
60 hours, just about to mount it on the base.
Yeah.
And I had wings that
Yeah.
needed shadows.
Right.
And I used Mr. Hobby Paint Blue, which
Yeah.
is an enamel,
Yeah. Ooh.
onto acrylic. And I did not top coat it, which apparently everyone does.
Yeah, you're supposed to
And you're supposed to. So I tested it on something, right? And then you use white spirits to dab off all
Yeah.
the excess. Well, I did that on a 60-hour painted model. That was scary. Now, how did I be brave? Do it in the morning. Don't do it at 10:30 at night.
That's pretty smart.
Okay, do it when you've got time and time to fix the mistakes if you have to. So that was one of the things. And Miniac was talking about it. It's like sometimes you just have to dive in and do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you fuck it up,
Yeah.
it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But can you just realize this guy has already been dropped in a wet palette
Yeah.
and fixed from that?
Yeah.
And the model was 300 grams. You should see the taping that I did afterwards. Because before I had him just glued on a base. And
Yeah.
that's it. Afterwards, I had him
Yeah.
taped all over his legs and everything.
Yeah.
Basically holding him on the
For
model
sure.
as best as I could to make
Yeah.
sure he wouldn't fall again. But yeah, so be brave. Dropping the dragon, that's scary.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah, no,
you need
for sure.
to be, knowing that you can strip a model.
Yeah.
So Miss Missile, I actually stripped her once.
Oh,
so
wow.
I posted her. I was like, "Oh, guys, I'm not happy with this. Any comments?" And then people gave me some great feedback. And then in the end, I was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to strip it, redo it again." It was such a small model, I could
Yeah,
do that.
nice.
Being able to strip a model and you'd already spent 10 hours on it, that's difficult. That's really hard.
Ooh.
Okay, so being brave. But another one that I think is really useful, and when I get questions from people, and I do get direct messages
I'm
about
sure.
their models, how can they make it look better? Desaturating the photo. So they send me a photo,
Yeah.
I grab that photo and just desaturate it and have a look at it in black and white. Okay?
We're back to the contrast.
Yeah.
10 to negative 10 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 10 to 0.
10
I
to
think.
0.
0 is white, 10
Yeah.
is black.
Oh, we had this conversation because you were saying negative 10 to 10 is too much.
Gorchid was saying that. That's like 20 layers of colour.
Yeah.
Now, the model's only 25 mil in size. So, you could go 0, 3, 6, and 10.
Yeah.
If you're painting a bust,
Yeah.
yes, you could probably go 10 to 0. If you're painting a double-sized bust,
Yeah.
20 levels of colour.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's horses for courses.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
basically, I'd take...
I mean, I think he was also just describing the theory in general, the contrast theory.
And once again, I don't know that theory.
Yeah.
I've heard it
Yeah.
from people, and I've made my own understanding from that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it works really well. Basically, I'd grab their colour, the photo, desaturate it,
Yeah.
look at it and go, "Oh, dude, it's all grey."
Yeah. You need more contrast.
And then it's like, okay, right. Well, here's some highlights. You put white along there. Oh, all of a sudden you can actually see the model.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. When it's all one colour, your eye doesn't know what to look at.
Yeah.
But if you can point out areas the model becomes easy to see.
Yeah.
A really good example on that on one of my models is a Goliath, one of my Goliath models, and I had some glasses on him, and Will said, just put some white along the bottom
Yeah.
where light would shine.
Yeah.
And I did. Oh, just the tiniest point
Yeah.
of difference. That was another exciting one.
Just pops.
And it popped. So what I do is I desaturate the colors. Now, the best example I do, because I actually send this photo to them to show like a good
so
example,
you can see, yeah.
which is one of mine, is the Tidecaster
Yeah.
with the model.
We'll have to get a desaturated version of the
Well, I've
Tidecaster picture.
got the color version and the desaturated next to it.
Ah, nice.
So you can see the difference of it in color.
I was actually just thinking about your Tidecaster because you were saying the triangle.
Yes.
And like to me, that kind of speaks to the rule of thirds rule that you
Yes.
see with like pictures and paintings and stuff
Probably
like
one
that.
of the only things I remember from university is the rule of thirds, and I use it. You can do the rule of fourths, rule of fifths. As long as you've got some sort of grid in the background, you can do whatever you like.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the rule of thirds really works.
Yeah.
But with the... I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry, you're talking about the Tidecaster contrast, different colors.
Yeah.
Side
Yeah,
to
so
side.
I'll contrast and show it to them, and they'll be like, oh, okay, wow. But what I really love about that model, to use an example, is she doesn't really have white
Right.
on her.
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
brightest color is yellow.
Yeah.
But if you desaturate it, its value contrast
Yeah.
is like as a 1 or a 2,
Yeah.
which is basically white. So
Okay.
what I'm trying to get at is if you desaturate, the person could have painted it blue, whatever color they done.
Yeah.
As long as that final color is a bright, bright color, that's where the value contrast comes from. And that's where the contrast of color
Yeah.
comes from as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be white. It could be yellow.
Yeah.
It could be light pink.
Well, yeah. I mean, I talked about it with Dan last episode, but that it works both ways. Like, because I have a fluoro pink,
Yes.
and it's too much.
Yes.
And we talked about why. Go watch the last episode.
Yes.
But yeah, it kind of comes down to the brightest color doesn't necessarily have to be what you think it is.
No.
Yeah.
But I think your pink is so overpowering
Yeah.
in color,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a warm color
It is.
as well.
It is.
So you,
I mean, it is until it isn't. Like the two colors I don't have on at the moment are like quite pale, quite
if
cold
you do pastel
pinks.
colors, that'll bring it down. But it's still quite warm right now.
Oh, for sure.
But I would definitely, that's your primary color.
Yeah. Oh,
So all your secondary colors need to be cool colors, grays and things. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, you could do green, which you were discussing in the previous one.
Yeah.
But I would be very gentle and not much.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think I'll leave that for another project.
Yep. But yeah, so desaturating as a critique, taking that photo to look at it, and then I'll just critique it. I try not when people ask me to look at their stuff. It's really hard because everyone's on a different journey.
Yeah.
I think would be the best way to describe it. My journey is 4 years of painting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yours is 1 year, 2 years?
Like serious painting.
Yes. Yes, serious painting. That's probably more the journey, actually.
Let's see. 25 days.
Yeah. So, and I've seen, I saw your painting because you did Wasmec's little mini, 45-minute
I
speed
did.
paint.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, well, that's what because I've been quote unquote painting for I think 2 years, but that's all just pump an army out so I can play it with friends or at a tournament or something. It's never been I'm going to sit down and I'm going to like work on my process, and that's what all this is. So yeah, what is this? The third episode. So yeah, about 25 days.
Yeah, and I think everyone's painting is a journey. So when we get new members or people that paint and they're a different level, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It might look bad, but it's not, because my Escher looked like that
Yeah.
because I didn't care as much.
That's it.
Then I did the cape and made it look a bit better. And then the next one, I think this is falling. Then the next one, I did more.
Yeah.
And that was another thing Will talks about it, is leaps.
Hmm.
Every model you do, you should add
Yeah.
a new thing to it.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Yeah.
I did actually do one model before this. I'll get a picture up. But I got a Bloodborne Mini
Yes.
from a friend, and it was this lady. She has like a slit throat or
Oh, yeah.
something, and has like really voluminous dress on.
Yes.
Like a big, real Victorian era dress. I remember staring at. We're playing D&D with the models. I remember staring at it and being like, I want to try, getting the shadows and just
Yep.
like really make this dress kind of like the contrast, make it really smooth gradient out. And so that was kind of what's kind of planted the seed in this for me.
Mm.
So I tell a lie. I mean, 25 days of like pure, like, let's do this kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, earlier this year, I had kind of started on that journey of just going from a simple dry brush to actually sitting
Yes.
down and trying to work out, gradient, contrast, color theory, and all that. So,
So
it-
So, and that's it. I think everyone's on a journey. So my journey is different to everyone else's. So
Yeah,
when
for
I'm
sure.
critiquing, I want them to paint better,
Mm,
but I
course you do.
know that they might not be able to make it to the higher levels
Oh, for
that
sure.
maybe I can do. But you know what? Give them, if they did not work
Hmm.
and they just painted for 3 months, they could be at the same level.
Yeah, probably.
It depends on what you're doing. And if
Yeah.
you're researching, watching videos,
That's it.
learning from other people,
Hmm.
techniques, listening to people,
Oh, yeah,
allowing them
absolutely.
to critique you. My biggest critique for me is Will will critique my stuff.
Yeah.
Normally what I try to do is get it. It's really hard. It's not nice getting critiqued sometimes, but it is well worth it at the
Yeah,
same time.
it's like you're also saying, you can only compare it to your last model. Like,
Yeah.
comparison is the thief of joy. Is something I hear quite a bit,
Okay.
especially in creative fields. Like, I can't compare my student films to Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah,
It just can't
yeah.
happen. Like, and if I do, that'll just make me sad. And it's the same thing. Like, I've seen your models. I saw your dragon. I saw your derelict rig and stuff like that. And I was like, God damn, that looks good. But I had to sit back and go, like, I'm on my own journey in
That's
regards
right.
to that.
And it's
yeah.
time. So every
Absolutely.
model, like, people want to paint. If you want to paint display level minis,
Mhm.
it's so easy to do in a sense.
Yeah.
Is okay. So you're going to paint a space marine for 3 hours.
Yeah.
What basically when you do an army, that's I kind of see it. It's basically 3 hours a model.
Mm.
To do a nice battle ready looking good model with some highlights. When I paint, it feels like that. Well, just double the time.
Yeah.
Triple the time. So
Yeah.
go from 3 hours to 9 hours
Mm.
and have a look at the difference. And there's a video on just recently by Eric Paints Models.
Midwinter
Midwinter
Minis, the
Minis.
Orc Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
just showed-
literally just watched that.
Yeah, I watched that yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is a really good example to
Yeah.
show you. And he didn't do too much.
No.
And it looked good for 20 hours.
Yeah.
Do another 60 hours on top of that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
you can win. I mean, but do you want to win?
Yeah. That's
you
the
don't have
thing.
to. Or do you just
No.
want to come to the event,
What?
show
Yeah.
off your work for people to go, that looks so
Yeah.
cool.
I think one day
meet people.
I'd wanna actually give it a shot, but like I have no illusions of glory right now.
That's the thing. So, like, with my gunship, my plane that I'm doing right now,
Mm.
I don't know if it'll win.
Yeah.
Only because I'm just doing it for fun.
Mm.
I'm doing what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to really try to do.
Yeah.
You say, yes, I can win a gold. I don't know if I could win a gold.
Yeah.
There are some amazing painters in WA and in the world. But I'm just going to paint how I like it.
Yeah.
And if it won a competition, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm just happy. I'm proud of the stuff I do. really.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love... So with Dota,
Mm.
6,000 hours in a game.
Yeah.
What do I have to show for it?
Yeah.
I've got 2 good friends that I've made
Yeah.
from it, and I love them to bits. But that's really it.
Mm.
I've got some good skill in the game. But I had a year off, and
Yeah.
painting was just so rejuvenating.
Yeah.
And then showing like the Tidecaster
Yeah.
to my family
Absolutely.
and my friends, and they could see it and go, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
There's a bit of gratification there.
Showing off your models and people being able to see it and appreciate it as much as you do.
Absolutely.
So that's so cool.
In regards to, sorry, we got a little bit off track there.
Oh yes, sorry guys. I do talk a lot. I think.
The beginner painting, the beginner advice / techniques. It was be brave.
Yes.
Desaturate the colors, and I think that's where we
I think that's it actually. Yeah, it's being brave and desaturate colors.
Yeah,
for the value to get contrast. Get that contrast up high.
Yeah.
And the model will look smicko.
Yeah. All right, give it a shot. So the next one after that is, of course, thank you. As usual, thank you very much for those of you who are professionals, who do consider themselves good painters, for having to sit through, the beginner stuff. Can you imagine being a beginner? No.
Sorry.
But here, this is just for you. This one goes out to you. Those of you who really, really want to step up your game, who consider yourself pretty good painters. Leif, what's your crouching tiger, hidden dragon technique?
I think I was trying to think about it, and I wasn't sure if I understood the question. But my interpretation of it is, I paint with rich colors, and they are so rich.
Yeah, right. What do you mean by rich?
Long story short, GW colors. They're really bright.
Interesting.
And I don't know if that's a crouching tiger.
Well, it's not wrong. Like, because I mean, here's the thing. We've said it before.
Contrast.
Horses for courses. Because I literally had the conversation in the last episode. Go watch the last episode. With Dan about getting away from GW colors. I think it was last episode.
Oh, actually, no. I'll change it.
I mean, you're not wrong. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what you think separates your painting and makes it like.
Actually, no. I'll change that. Actually,
yep.
You might need to delete that. I think my crouching tiger, hidden dragon is, I do not paint with 400 paints.
Okay.
I have 3 boxes of paints, which equals to about 100 paints.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 of those are washes or technical, like weathering paints.
Yeah, right.
So maybe 80 paints. They're all mainly Games Workshop paints, but that's because they fit in the box.
Yeah.
But I don't need, and I think that might be where the graphic designer stuff comes. I don't need to have 7 different pinks, which I know you have. Sorry, that's not
how dare
not a dig. No,
I
gave you one.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean though.
Yeah,
like
I'll mix the color.
That's what Dan was talking about, because we were talking about GW and like how we were moving away from it, or how I've recently moved away from it. And it really comes down to that. Like GW has so many cool colors that are already mixed.
Yep.
But you can get those colors with the combination of other brands.
If you get 3 colors of skin tone, your darkest skin tone to the lightest highlight that you did.
Yeah.
And you see it on a lot of the YouTubers' channels. They literally mix it and make a big puddle.
Yeah.
All the way to the lightest color.
From one to the other. Yeah.
There's your colors. You don't need the other 6 paints.
Yeah.
So I don't paint. I really try not to get too many colors. I definitely do buy colors every time I have a new project. And you do get new favorites.
Yeah.
But I think that might be my crouching tiger, is just I don't have many paints to paint with.
Yeah.
Maybe that's holding me back. But I think that might be the other reason why all my miniatures are all very simple. They feel the same in color and things, because I'm using all the same colors.
Okay. So the kind of like a point of the crouching tiger, hidden dragon. You're not wrong, by the way.
Okay.
But just to expand on that.
Okay, thanks.
So you're entering a competition, right?
Yes.
Just hypothetically, you're entering a competition. Yeah. You got your model sitting in front of you. You're working out your game plan, and at some point you're sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the one technique that I'm gonna do that is gonna make this model. People know it's your signature, right? People see that and they go, oh yeah, Leif did that one. You know what I mean?
Shit. It's probably going to be an LED light. My next model that I'll do, I'm going to stay far away from LED lights. Resin pour. They're such easy techniques. I think that paint. I think this is why like people talk about airbrushing. It's such an easy technique. It's such a fast technique.
Yeah.
Let's change it to that. To create some incredible results, which then allows you to spend time on other areas.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like we painted your tank in a night, in 2 hours, or actually probably an hour and a half hour. Now all you have to do is just pick out all the detail.
Yeah, highlights. And
You
stuff
know,
like
and
that.
highlight it up a bit more. If you had to hand paint that,
Yep. No, I tried.
and that's
I wanted
that's
to cry.
maybe 3 or 4 nights worth more to paint.
Yeah.
But now you don't have to worry about that. You can paint something else. So, like, just making it easier for yourself. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, with the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I don't know if I have it, but
Yeah.
maybe I've mentioned
No,
some
I mean
things,
you've said some things, and I just wanted to see if you had like a signature that kind of like
Yeah.
sets, like is your one thing that you always make sure to do on all your best models.
Oh,
kind of
okay,
thing.
yeah.
But,
Otherwise, yeah, like signature move is that my colours are very bright,
Yeah, you were saying rich colors.
rich colours.
Yeah. Well, that is the that is the end of the questions. Now we go
Yes.
into free time, as it were.
Oh.
So is there anything else before we kind of wrap up? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Listening to the other videos and watching them. Couple of mentions. Thank you, Gorchin, for mentioning my Tidecaster. I think Gorchin was talking about blacks.
Yes, don't paint black.
Yes. And he's like, I don't know where it's from. James Flame
Yeah.
is a teacher, and he doesn't paint with blacks.
No.
He paints with browns. And the reason he says it, and hopefully you can interview him and he can repeat it or
I think.
explain
I
it
mean,
more.
call out. You've been called out, James.
Yeah, James.
Much
Maybe-
like Dan called out Leif.
Yeah.
You're next.
Yeah, you're next. You're next.
Coming for you.
He doesn't paint blacks, and the reason why he says is because black is not really a natural color in the world.
Yeah.
So he'll do blues and browns and things.
No, I completely understand.
And
Yeah.
you can mix a lot of colors together to get a very muddy brown / black
Yeah.
to
No,
make a black.
I
And I
mean-
did that with the Zerka, with the shadows. Yes, he was undercoated black, but then he was brushed in Bugman's Glow.
Yeah, right.
And then I use rich purple, deep purples
Yeah.
for the shadows.
Yeah, you were saying.
Instead
It's crazy.
of black.
Yeah.
So, there was that. The other thing you guys were talking about Fluro Paint.
Yes.
Yes. And I do archery, and I actually paint all my shafts for my wood arrows. They're very easy to lose in Fluro
Yeah, right.
because under UV light you can find them.
Yeah.
And at night time, you can find your arrows even from like 10, 20 meters because it's an unnatural color
Yeah.
and it shines up with UV light.
Right.
And yeah, like Dan said, he says there's another wavelength in there, and I believe there is. Yeah. And it can change things.
Yeah.
That was something I noted. I was like, oh, yeah.
But nice. Well, yeah. If
Yeah. Have you got anything you need to talk about?
anything I need to talk about. No, just an apology. I'm sorry I haven't posted an update video. I've had a couple people like message me, be like, "Yo, where's that update video?" I have all the footage. I just have to put it together. Yeah, I felt very demotivated trying to like paint it with brush. So I think definitely the airbrush has just jumped to the top of the priority list in regards to what I need for
I'm
my
10
hobby.
minutes away, so you don't need to stress.
This is true.
Like, I reckon maybe you might need to do another small airbrush session
Yeah.
on it. If you want,
Oh,
let me know.
yeah, it won't be done. Like, I won't need it for this project, I think, again, but in regards to in the future, I
Yeah.
think,
I don't think you need to spend too much like I have on my stuff. I think the brush you'd spend on, but the compressor, from the sounds of like a lot of people in our group, they've all bought like $100 ones off eBay.
yeah,
They've been
I
fine.
mean, I won't call you out, but you know who you are. One of the guys was saying he bought a $20 airbrush off AliExpress.
Yes.
And that's what he uses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a good painter. I won't say who because I don't think he'd want to be called out.
I think,
but-
like, if you're just undercoating, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think the beauty of the airbrush compared to like a spray can though is it's so much finer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's this tiny thin paint.
The one thing that I might come to you with in the future when when I get there,
Yes.
is the you have your badger, and it'd be really cool to get the spray paint idea,
the graffiti.
the graffiti we were talking
yeah.
about. But that's
I want to know
that's
how to
way
do
down
that.
the line.
We could maybe learn that together.
That's
to be honest.
interesting.
So there's like so many little techniques you can like graffiti artist stuff. That's a technique.
It's completely different. Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
No.
So I'll just watch some videos and do it.
Absolutely.
Tattoo work.
Oh, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Non-metallic metals.
Oh my god.
True metallic metals.
Yeah, it's all fantastic. Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this week's episode of the Painter Chronicles. I've been Tyler.
I'm Leif.
And I hope you enjoy. Make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube or whatever, or rate it 5 stars or 3 thumbs or whatever the rating system is on wherever you are. Give it a like, because that helps us out and motivates us to keep going. And if you have any questions or know a painter who wants to come on or want to come on yourself, message us. We're on Facebook at Western Tabletop. We're on YouTube as Western Tabletop. We're on everything essentially as Western Tabletop. So flick us through a message, and we'd love to hear from you. Any ideas you have as well for the show. But until next time, thank you very much.
Thanks you.